Have you guys ever wondered, right, when price is coming up to a critical level of structure, which way is it going to go, right? Have you guys ever wondered, right, price is coming up to resistance, are coming down to support, right, but you're not sure if price is actually going to respect it or who's going to respect it? Is it going to be buyers? Is it going to be sellers, right? It seems like this is the $1,000,000 question as a day trader, right? What's going to happen, right? So today in this lesson, I want to break down what it is I look for as price is reaching these critical levels to determine the direction of trend, right? So guys, before we go any further, click the links below if you want to get involved in our Discord. If you like what we see today, right over here in this content, make sure you hit a like, subscribe if I'm adding any value to your trading and helping you become a better trader. Any questions, comments, concerns, go below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let's dive into the lesson. Okay, so the day we're going to be talking about is 5/31/2024, right? This day was a crazy day on the market, but nothing irregular, right? These are the sort of things that happen each and every single day, and it's up to us to develop a system, some criteria that we can use every single day to approach the market that's repeatable. Repeatable being that $1,000,000 word again, right? There's tons of strategies out there, right? But the reason why most traders fail to obtain consistency is they're not repeating them, right? So I really want to break down once again critical levels, market structure, and moving averages, and how I use them to determine who's in control of the level, right? So 5/31/2024. So we did this live on the Discord, right? And basically what we were doing is what we do every single day, right? We determine the areas of value, right? These are areas we want to keep our eye on. These are areas that we're going to be looking for large money to take control of, and based on the chart patterns we see at these levels, we're then going to put on risk, right? So those are very simple, right? Those are the previous day highs, that's the end of day, and that's the previous day low, right? So every single day there's going to be 4 levels from the previous day, right? Previous day high, end of day, previous day low, right? And then open print. Open print, we call her open print because she prints. Dude, listen, you learn to understand what is happening at open print, as you're going to see right here in this lesson, you're always going to have an edge, right? So other than the critical levels, I had my eye on this 52470 level, right? And I'm going to tell you exactly where I got this level. It's from the daily time frame, right? So it's going to be that yellow line right there, right? So as we're going into the day, notice earlier in the week we're above it. I'm bullish above it. Why? Because this is bullish structure. This is a bullish break, bullish retest. So as long as we're above 52470, I'm pretty bullish. That's why I put daily time frame bullish above. Then we snap below it the day prior. So going into May 31st, I'm going, if we can find strength above this level, that's going to be telling me that buyers are in control. Buyers meaning large money. Large money being the people that actually move the market and the people I want to identify and trade with, because I can't move the market, right? That's my whole philosophy. I can't move the market, so I must be aware of who is moving the market, whether it be buyers or sellers, and trade with them. How do we do this? Through structure, right? So any acceptance above this level, I'm looking for longs, right? But if buyers can't control this level, I'm open for shorts, targeting the gap fill down to end of day, PDL, and then our bearish targets, 519.71, 518.84. Right, so you're going to see price rejected that level in pre-market. Okay, very cool. But notice the moving averages now, right? So we have the cloud, we have the 90 EMA, right? And we have the 50 EMA, right? So notice how price rips up into this level and rejects, right? This is very bearish. This isn't my criteria for short, but this is going to help me determine that buyers are not in control, sellers are. So notice here how price comes and falls down below open print, and then we close, right? Notice here we close below the 50 EMA. This is a sign of selling strength, right? You want to keep your eye on this. You want to be able to identify it. Then price comes up, tags the open print candle, and rejects, right? Notice here, rips into the 50, cannot get above the 50. This is why moving averages are so important. They help us understand the strength of who is in control of the market. See, it's not a magical indicator that's just going to print every single time you're below it, go short, every single time you're above it, go long. No, you have to develop the eye to become aware of what you're seeing and what it looks like as sellers are taking control of the 50, as buyers are taking control of the 50. In this case, the price falls below the 50, closes below it. We consolidate on it. We can't get above it. And then notice here how the 9D EMA is respected. We cannot get past it. Price falls down, comes up, pretty much tags that cloud right there, which is the 9 EMA, and then sinks all the way down to previous day low, right? Where we come up, we get a beautiful retest off previous day low and pre-market low. Now, pre-market low is going to play a very important part of the story in our next trade, right? So we're going to just label this PM low. Okay. Now, price sells off, massive sell-off here. Cool. Now, notice how price comes down below pre-market low. Now, this is how you're going to be able to determine the strength of the trend, right? Because as you're coming up to pre-market low here, you're going to ask yourself, that's a pretty big green candle, right? But how do I know buyers aren't going to push through it, right? So this is the thing. As price drops below pre-market low, comes up for the retest at 521, which is pre-market low. Notice that wick right there on the cloud, right? And you have to ask yourself, are you willing to bet here that sellers are still in control of trend based on larger time frame analysis, right? Being below 524.70, being below the 50, right? Are you willing to bet, put on risk, accommodate risk, mitigate risk to the tune that price is going to sell back down to 519.71 and then 518.84? How do we do this? Based on the moving averages, based how price is respecting or not respecting the moving average. Look how we ripped right into the moving average, coupled with the critical level. Boom, price continues to sell off, cannot break that cloud whatsoever. Boom, right into target. Okay, Josh, cool. Now notice, this is my next part of the day was the long that we caught. So we captured this long for, let's see here. Let me pull up. It was 400. Okay, so for 466%, we caught on this long on SPX, right? Anybody that's ever traded SPX, especially towards the end of the day, knows these contracts will literally go from $200 to $2,000, right? It was a phenomenal trade. It was absolutely insane, right? But we weren't doing anything crazy. All we were doing was watching structure and watching the moving averages and watching the critical levels, okay? Notice here, price bounced off our target. By this time, we're very extended from the 50, and buyers show strength and rip price right up through the cloud. Okay, cool. Now price rips all the way up back into pre-market low, right? Now this is our level of interest, right? Why? Because what happens here is going to tell us the story, the narrative that we need to know and understand to then put on our next trade. Notice the moving average, 50, not being respected, right? Okay, rips into the critical level, right? Now, price rips up into pre-market low, rips right back down and hugs that 50. So this is what we have to be able to look for. We have to be able to see, okay, sellers didn't defend the 50 on the first retest. Now price is coming back up into that 50 and it's holding the 50. What else is it holding? It's holding the 9 EMA, right? Every time price comes down, tags that cloud, we get strength. Then look at how price keeps hitting back and forth. We cannot make a new low, right? So price then pops above pre-market low right in the previous day low. Once again, previous day low is our critical level. So as price rips up into previous day low, we have to watch to see what happens. Price comes in, sellers show up, but we can't break that 50. That 50 is your determining factor. If you can't break that 50, and market structures clearly changing, in the critical level isn't changing the structure of the market, that is what we call acceptance, right? All of this right here, if my computer will unfreeze. Okay, here we go. All of this right here is what we call acceptance. Notice we can't make another low. Notice the moving average is being respected. Notice we keep making higher highs, right? So sooner or later, we're going to rally, right? We rip back above previous day low, come back down into that cloud, come back down into that 50, right? So at this point right here, I'm going, okay, I'm willing to long the market on this candle once we wiped out the top of this candle, and I put my stop below the 50, right? So that is right there what I was willing to risk based on the information I was watching for a move up to end of day, right? So that was my initial move. My move was up to end of day, and then I was going to see what happened there, right? And this is why it's so important to remain open to what you do not know, right? Don't just assume just because we're ripping into end of day that it's gonna reverse, right? Play with the momentum of the market. Play with the moving averages. Play with the cloud. Play with the critical levels. You learn to play with the areas and the criteria that actually matter. You're going to get way better results, right? Just because you can't see a $7 move that ended up happening doesn't mean it's not going to happen, right? Look at here. Price rallied. Price respected the moving average the whole time. We ripped into end of day, came down, tagged the cloud, held the 9D EMA, and just continued to rally, right? It was an absolutely amazing day in the market, guys. Once again, if you want to join the team, click the links below. If you just want some more information, make sure you hit a like, subscribe for more content so you do not miss any videos that drop from High Performance Trader.